Okay, hi guys. I'm just going to go over this drawing with you today since we couldn't do it online, and hopefully that'll help you if you are a bit stuck. Okay, I'm going to start. Sorry, I've set up some sort of weird homemade visualizer here with a webcam, so bear with me because I've got a small drawing area and I'm not quite sure how this is going to work, but hopefully it'll be okay. I'm going to start with task 3A, and it asks for an orthographic drawing for each of the parts for this packaging. Okay, I'm going to start with the easiest one, which is the packaging base. Right, so what would I do? I'm going to have a look at it. I'll try and sort of, I need to put it out of your vision. But if we look at it, what do we have? I'm going to make this the front elevation with a little cutout, which means that this is the end elevation here. There's a rectangle, and the plan view will be looking down on top, and we can see that it's hollow. So let's see what that looks like when we break it down into orthographic. Remember, it's a sketch. You can use a ruler or a straight edge for projection lines, but you should try and draw it freehand. Okay, I don't mind if you sketch it in very lightly and then freehand with your pencil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw myself. I've got it here actually. I've just drawn a little window that the camera can see here. But I'll use this as my baseline here. Okay, so if I look at it, I can see that the packaging base, I'll bring it back, is 70 across and the end is 55, so we know it's slightly longer. So if I make it about there, okay, put in a height, I'm going to draw right across the page, and I'm going to put in my sides for the base and the bottom, like that. And I am going to find the middle, which is about here. I'm going to draw in that little cutout there like that. And then I'm going to add in the ends. And that's the basic shape there. A bit wibbly, but that's okay because it's a sketch. Okay, and it's quite hard for me not to turn the page. Leave a gap. I'm going to put in the width, which we've already said is a bit shorter. So maybe about that, and then that's just going to be a rectangle, like so. So that's the first two bits. Okay, remember this is a quick sketch. What I like to do is put my bounce line as if I was on a drawing board. So this, from the front elevation, you should draw a roughly 45-degree line, and then you can project the end elevation up to the line, and then you can project it across where it touches the line, just as you would in a drawing board. You can leave all of these projection lines in the SQ likes that and wants to see where your drawings come from. I'll then project the sides up. That one's already there. And project up this little cutout here as well. I'll need that too. And there you go. There's my plan view in there. Like so. Oh, here we go, plan view there. And then what I need to do now to show where this cutout is, if again you look at the plan view here, you can see that it has a thickness to it. We can see the thickness, we know it's 10 on the outside, then here it tells you it's 8. So we know the thickness is about 2 millimeters. So it's not very thick, so I'm going to draw the thickness on the plan view first of all. So like that. I would normally turn the page, but because I've got this window here, I am going to try and draw it this way. There you go, and then where the little cutout is, we will have two lines there to show that that dips in. Okay, not moving it back, there we are. So that's the base, but it also asks for hidden detail. So what kind of hidden detail we would have? Well, we know that it's got a thickness there, so therefore we need to show that. So you've got the thickness here, you can project it down and project it down here as well, and then you can draw in your hidden detail. Okay, and I would imagine we want to put it along the bottom as well to show that it has a base and that it's hollow on the inside. Okay, I'll have exactly the same there, and you can, if you wish, take the lines you've drawn, a very wobbly line there. Take the lines. I'm also working on a very old desk that's got a lot of bumps in it. That doesn't really help either. Take them down, and then you can put your line thickness in here as well. there's the, okay, and then across the bottom. Right, so that's that bit done. That's the base. I'm going to put the title at the top. It's going to say base, like that. I'll go back to front on that screen, but I'm sure you get the idea. And then I'm going to put in some dimensions, some key dimensions here. So think about how you're going to dimension it before you do it, okay? We want the smaller dimensions on the inside, the bigger on the outside. So we need to show that it's 20 here, 25 here, and 70. So they'll go on the elevation. We want 10 high. We want to show this 8 here as well, and the 55. So what I'm going to do first, so I'm going to put the smaller ones in. And remember, when your dimensions are end to end like this, they are called chain dimensions. So there you go, that one was 20, and this one here was 25. I don't think that's quite proportionally correct, but that's okay. And then from end to end, we're going to go with 70, all the way across. Nice small arrows, dimension in the middle, 70. And then we said here, this height between here and here was 10. And then on the other side, between the bottom and there, we know that was 8. And that's how we know it's too thick. And the last dimension we need here, okay, would be your, I'm going to line up with that one, would be your 55. Okay, and the last thing left for me to do is add in the titles of each drawing. So we have our plan. Quite nice if you put in some leader lines so that everything's nice and neat. Our elevation, remember to print this. And the last one, I'm going to line it up with that, is our end elevation. Okay, and that is the first drawing. Okay guys, this is the second drawing. We're going to do the packaging top this time. So if you have a wee look at it, you've got a block here which should be the same dimensions as the base, but this time you've got a little, instead of a little bit cut out, you've got the same little bit added on, and then this little button here, the details of which are up here. Okay, it's got a straight bit and then it curls in a radius of 4. So we're kind of looking at that. So I'm going to again start with the front elevation. So take your ruler and draw your baseline in, and then take a guess and get your length. So here's my, now I've got 2 bits to this. I've got a short bit, then a slightly taller bit. So that's my drawing there. So there's the first one. So I'm going to pop in the height there. That's gone a bit squint, hasn't it? So I won't be doing that. Let's see, let's get that a bit straighter. All right, there we are, that's a bit better. That's why we have a rubber. Okay, so got that in there, and then I'm going to add in a little bit. So I'll sort of roughly find the middle, then I'm going to add in this little bit here, like so, the little bit that's added in. Okay, then I can pop on this bit. I'm keeping this light just now because remember it had that curve. So we want to make sure that we're curving that. Then I can rub out my bit here. Okay, and I can put in the shape that we have of the top, which is this. But remembering it also has a line going across here. And remember, it's got this little button here. So that will go in about there, and that's kind of the shape of the top. Okay, then I'm going to use my projection lines and I'm going to draw the side. So the side view will have the same line going across here. It's also curved. So put in my curve, and this bit that hangs down here, you will see it on the end here, like so. The button we know sticks out, and if you have a look at your sheet, it says here, this detail is found on both sides of the top. So we need to show that here, like that. Okay, and again, I think this bit here clips in at the top on this side, so we've got this as well. Okay, it doesn't say whether or not it has a thickness to it, so I'm assuming it's the same, it's hollow the same. So we would then draw our hidden detail to show that the whole thing is hollow. But it doesn't actually say, so we could leave it solid, and that would probably be okay too. Right, the last thing to do is the plan view. So I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to draw myself a 45-degree bounce line just to help me out. And I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to draw all of these bits. I'm going to take them across where they hit that line. If you don't use a bounce line, do make sure that your gap here is the same as the gap here. Okay, I don't want to see this away over here and your plan here, or this here and your plan away up here, okay, because that would be wrong. You should have them spaced equally. It's really important that you do that. Okay, then I need to project this up here, and don't forget the bits in the middle. So I need that bit, and I need this little button as well, a little button bit. Okay, let's see what I've got. So here's the outside of my box. Like so. There's my lid. Like that. And then if you look at the drawing, the lid has another bit here. Okay, if the radius is 4, it must be about 4 millimeters in. So about here, I'm going to draw in roughly another box for the top, like that. And then the curves where the corners go would look like that. Okay, top of the box. Okay, we need to add in some detail. This sticks out, so we've got a little bit sticking out on this side, and the same at the other side, like that. And then if you wanted to show the thickness to the box, you could put in your hidden detail to show that my box is actually hollow. Okay, and then we want to add in the key dimensions. Remembering our dimensions for the packaging base are already there, so you don't really need to repeat them because we know it fits together, but we need to know that this dimension, we need to know this dimension. So this one here, we know is 6, and this one we know is 20. Okay, we also need to know that this comes down here for 6. What else do we need on this one? We've got a radius, so we're going to do our capital R for radius of 4 on the corner, and this bit here, which is a new bit, here and here is 7. Might just manage to get that in. That one is 7. And I think that is all the dimensioning we need. So again, same as before, add in your words. So plan view. This is your elevation. And the last one, lined up with that one, your end elevation. Now you'll notice that I haven't drawn these huge. Okay, and I was having a little go earlier, if I can find the right one. I've done a few of these so far. Here they are. I've got them all on a page here. I don't know if you can see the whole page, But if you have a wee look, if I move it around, okay, yep, this way, camera's upside down, there's my base, okay, there's the top. Underneath is the next one I'm going to do, which is the insert, and then the last one is actually going on to task B, which is the assemble task. I say you can't really see that from where you are, but everything, those 4 drawings are on the one sheet. If you want to, quarter your page, okay, and give yourself an area for each drawing. You're only allowed 2 sheets, remember, by the SQA, so try and draw a bit smaller and try and compress it all, but making a neat job of it, okay? I'll do another video for the next one in a second. Okay guys, here we are for the last wee bit, and we're going to do this insert here, which is probably the trickiest bit, that's why I've left it till last. If we have a wee look at it, the front elevation is a rectangle, the end elevation is a rectangle, and the plan is where all the information is. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start again, front elevation, end elevation, and then work out where the plan's going to be. So let's put that to the side. Same again, okay? Work out what length you want your front elevation to be. Remember, I'm not making these massive. Front elevation is going to be there. So my front elevation is actually just a rectangle. Oh, got a bit of a wobble there, but that's okay. Rectangle like that. A very wobbly rectangle. That's not great actually. I wouldn't be happy with that if it was going to the SQA quite as wobbly as that. So I'm just going to rub that out again and have another wee go. Yeah, that's better. Moving my arm along like I should do and doing it from this end. Okay, that's a bit better. Happier with that. Leave a gap. So I'm going to project across. Leave a gap. And put in my other end. About there. Same again. Front elevation. End elevation like that. Okay, 45-degree line. From there. Project up. And up. It's not quite reached the line, so I'm going to make it a bit longer. Up and up here, ready there, up here, okay? And then where these lines meet, I'm going to go across, and then it's quite a big top actually. I've drawn this one a wee bit bigger than I wanted, but that's okay. Hopefully you can still see that, you can. Back down. And there's my plan view. Right, let's have a look at this plan view. So what have I got here? I've got these kind of what are they? Pair of boots, D shapes, P shapes, whatever you want to call them. But that's what I've got there. I've got 2 of them. So I kind of want to find the middle. And I'm going to draw a wee line up the middle. Where do I think the middle is? Is that about the middle? Not bad. Middle-ish. Okay, so I've got the 2 halves. And then I'm going to work out roughly where one is, and I'm going to just try and put the other one in the same position, about the same thickness. And then if you look at the drawing, this distance here is 18, and so is this part here. So this bit, whatever bit length this is, I'm going to make it about that length. There, wee line. That length should be repeated here, so I'm just going to use my finger. It goes to a bit of a knuckle. So about there, okay? The 2 things are the same length. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way up to the top. And that's the whole thing on that side. And the same on this side. Okay. Now, this one is going to go to about halfway line here. Trying to make this one the same thickness, roughly. Okay, so we've got that. And then we've got this other shape here. So I would draw, it comes all the way out. If you actually see it here, it comes almost to the edge there. So almost to the edge at that side. And exactly the same at this side. You see how I'm doing both at the same time? It just means I can gauge what I'm doing. Right, now we did this in class recently. We have 2 curves here. So let's actually make the curve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my guidelines. I'm going to bring the same guidelines right across, and then I'm going to put in my guidelines for drawing a curve. We know it's going to touch here, here and here, and then I can put in my curve. Now, there we go. There's one. I'm going to leave all those guidelines in my drawing for the SQA to see that I've used a proper construction method. I'm going to do the same at this side. Here, here and here. And then I'm going to curve that there. Normally I would turn my page, but I daren't with my makeshift visualizer. Okay. And there I've got those two shapes on the top. Okay, like that. That's your plan view. That's all that's in the plan view. What I need to do now is I need to project down, like so, because we've got to add hidden detail. Like this, and like this, and then I can add in the hidden detail. Does it go all the way through? It looks to me like it goes all the way through, and it's not got a base on the bottom, so all I'm going to do is draw hidden detail to show where the hole is for these shapes on that side. And then I can use this bounce line again, and I can bring them across, across and across where they touch the bounce line, bring them down, and that will give me, again, hidden detail lines where the holes are for the earbud parts. Okay, that would be that, and then it's a case of adding in the key dimensions. So look at what dimensions you're given and just use the same ones. We're going to have to put dimensions on the plan for this one. You could still put them underneath actually. That would work just as well because we know between there and there is 28. And we know 6, 5 and 6, 6, 5 and 6. Cross like this. Remember, this is again chain dimensioning when you're going from end to end. We know the height here is 8. So 8 there. And we know the width here is 51. Oops. Nearly did it with my ruler there. 51. What else do I need to know? We need to know 18 and 18 here. So we could put them in there. I should have put them in. I'm going to squeeze it in. 18 there. And, oh, it's a bit of a squeeze. 18 there. That probably needs to come down a little bit, but I'll get away with it this time. And we have... Oh, I've missed a wee bit there. Actually, if you have a look really closely there, there's a little chamfer there. So I'm going to have to pop that on there and there. And just rub that away. And I'm going to just put the chamfer on the plan. It says here 3 by 4.5 degrees. Is that what it says? So difficult for me to see. Ah, it's... in here it's 3 times 45 degrees. So 3 millimeters at 45 degrees there. And we've got a radius here, so we're going to put that one here. So we'll do it this way. Hope you can still see that. It's gone off the page, so I'll slide it across. Radius of 9 millimeters. Okay, and that's everything. And then as before, we're going to pop in plan, elevation, printed neatly, elevation, and there we go, end elevation. And I think I've got it all now. That looks good. Okay, that is, in fact, if there's a little, nearly forgot something there, if there's a little hidden detail there where that little chamfer is, a little bit there as well. Okay, and that is the plastic insert. Okay, so when you've completed that, I would like to, as I've said before, you should have, and I'm going to try and bring this sheet as much as you can see of it, okay? So on the one sheet, there is the, okay, base, sorry, that way. The base, the top, the plastic insert, and in the last corner is where you would draw the assembled case. Okay, I'm going to leave the assembled case to you. I'm not going to do that one. And then in class we did loads of practice on perspective and rendering, so your perspective rendered cases should be excellent. Okay, I might do a couple later if people are struggling with that. Oh, it's just all dark. Okay, thanks guys. I've changed your assignment deadline to Monday rather than Friday to give you a little bit more time to do this, and then we'll sort something different out for next week. Okay, see you later.